Ready?
Well, the mainly golf show. It's been a while. We've missed the mostly Fedex Cup Tour Championships, whatever they call it in America. Words of Matt Fitzpatrick. I don't get it. I'm British. We don't really do playoffs. Not for us as a Sheffield United
Win,
fan. Yeah,
it's win the
he's
league.
as a Sheffield United fan. I can see why losing to Sunderland. With a pretty fluky last minute goal 18 months ago. Unlucky Fitz. But we are at the FedEx Cup finale. It's going to be a new format next year. We'll get that out of the way first of all. Are you happy to see match play back on the PGA Tour schedule?
100%. Love match player. Love the World Golf
You
Championship.
used to love those brackets, didn't you? You've been working out
Oh,
all those
I mean,
perms.
it's proper. It was the best DraftKings DFS week of the year. Like work out the perms of that. Like, oh, I love it. Yeah, it's so much. It's so
I think just that used to be really class, didn't it? Because there'd be what? There'd be groups of four. They'd all play like a
good.
round
Yeah,
robin the first 3 days, and then it was just okay, top two go through
yeah.
16 quarters, and then it was a 36 hole final. Was it
Uh,
Ram and DJ a few years ago?
I think the last one was Burns Scheffler. The problem is, it's
It's,
just the weekend is just so bad because you've got one or two games on, and it's just awful
mhm.
TV, and that's. But this, I think they're trying to fix that with this. I think everybody, even in the last knockout, I think there's always like 4 or 5 games going on at once, even if it's the final. So don't know how they're doing that, but it still doesn't mean anything if it's Scotty versus Burns again for the Tour Championship. You're not dropping everything to go watch it, but love match player. Glad it's back at least. There's so much golf played every single week. It's all the same. One or 2 weeks of match player, fantastic.
it's bizarre to think that the WGC just disappeared, what, about 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And there was the one in St. Jude, was it the Cadillac Championship? Um, was it just be played at Doral?
I mean that was kind of like this year was Doral, so maybe, but yeah, they just got rid
Then
of the.
then they had the
They,
match play and they had the one in I think the HSBC Shanghai in
they
China
sort of replaced
and
with the signature stuff, didn't they? Because they were non-cut. They were top 100 in the world or whatever, like
but it
guaranteed.
incorporated all the different it incorporated the different tours, so they had players from the you see a lot of Japanese players from the Asian Tour and the DP World Tour, and then obviously the split with Live. It was a way of kind of making sure those Live players didn't get into these bigger events, which you'll see. Like, I mean, if you look at the fallout, if you look at the words from the new PGA Tour CEO, like they're not going to allow those Live players back on next year. I think John Rahm, Joaquin Niemann. Joaquin Niemann's interestingly played a few times on the DP World Tour this summer. If you look at all the vibes are, the Live players are going to have to go onto the DP World Tour, get one of those top 10 spots like Jordan
Yeah,
Smith or Christopher Wright and earn their PGA Tour card through there. Um, I mean, John
yeah,
Rahm turned up for like the fucking Danish Open as like a 6-4 favorite.
yeah. I thought they would buckle a bit for the top ends. Obviously, they gave Brooks. Well, when Brooks came back in February, they gave them like an ultimatum of like you can take the Brooks's deal, but once you let that pass, there's then it's going to be harder. And every time someone comes back
Yeah,
and they don't take that deal, so say if Ram comes back and Hatton doesn't, then it's going to be even harder for Hatton. But yeah, with this two-tier PGA Tour coming up in 28, it's like it's quite easy. You just put them on the second tier, or like you say, make them play the DP and earn their way back, as well as a lot of fines. But yeah, I mean they're going to have to just eat a bit of humble pie if they want to come back.
it's a bit like when you'd see these Italian sides relegated, right, to Serie B for match fix, bribery, whatever, and then like, okay, if you've got to get your side back out of the shit and get back into Serie A.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, Tyrrell's got a good record on the DP World Tour, right? He'd often play like the Irish Open. He's got a great record. I think he's a three-time winner of the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship. So, I mean, he's the favourite for this week's British Masters. John Ram would always go and play like the Spanish Open, or do they have the Spanish, the Madrid Masters, whatever. He plays the Spanish events anyway, as well as Ram Wentworth and some of the more what they call them, the Rolex Series events. And if the DP World Tour is going to be almost seen as a feeder tour with 10 people getting their card, it's almost like everybody wins in this scenario. There's more eyeballs on the DP World Tour. You've got bigger names, and then ideally the PGA Tour has better players winning those, 10 player spots. Like, no disrespect to, again, I use the example of a Jordan Smith. Who else got through that year? Was it like a John Parry or one of these old boys?
Uh,
Was it damn
I can't remember. Penge obviously won it, didn't he?
Marco
Behind Rob.
Penge? But Penge won three times last year on tour. Like, it's a bit different.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
there
mean,
was.
if you're Christopher Wrighton again, he won a couple of times, and then to be fair, he did at least win a signature event this year. Wrighton and Fitzpatrick are what the two, I think the two rookies who made it through to the Tour Championship. But it makes better sense for for the PGA Tour to benefit of more from a commercial perspective, right? More marketable names. So if you have a Hatton, Neiman, Ram, I can't see Westwood, Poulter, McDowell
Yeah,
grinding through on the tour next year.
no, and then you got that young McKibben.
Well, if you remember, Rory warned Tom because Rory had mentored McKibben like this is not the option for you,
Yeah,
and he's what I think he's only 23, 24. At least he will probably be fine on the circuit, and he's already
yeah.
winning on the DP World Tour. But
But people aren't going to remember. The Americans are just going to think he's a young Irish guy that's just come onto the scene. Like they're not going to
yeah,
think a lot of the golf fans just go, oh, who's this guy? Like, well, I have no memory of him going to live. Like he's not done anything. He's not made any headlines over that. So,
but yeah, going back to the match play, do you think it's no coincidence? This isn't setting in for next year, right? It's the year after. Is this
yeah,
2028?
yeah.
I was going to say it'd be wonderful timing, given that this would be the three. I think the Ryder Cup is September the 17th next year. If you could have potential Ryder Cup
Ooh,
matchups,
yeah.
getting an early glimpse, or are they bringing it in so that it almost, if this is the Tour Championship 2028 and you're having a lot of these match play formats, it almost then builds the anticipation towards
Yeah.
2029 in America.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, the guy who's taken over as the commissioner, I don't know if that's the right term, but he's got an NFL background and is
CEO.
being based around a sort of an NFL playoffs schedule, and you've got to say on paper he's fixed it. Obviously, we haven't seen it, but it's a lot better than this sort of nothing. That's Scotty is. I think he's 1,500 points ahead of everyone else. They obviously used to have the staggered start. They've got rid of that, but it comes down to like Ryan Fox plays the best. He's the tour champion, and he was 30th on the season, and it's just down just to one tournament where there's no advantage for whatever you've done. And like Tommy won it last year, and he's tour champion. Okay, Tommy was like third best player last year and stuff, but this is a bit of a ridiculous way of ending the season and
It
crowding
just,
a
it,
champion that no one cares about, admittedly. But
they've tried various incarnations. Just, I mean, it just doesn't work. To
yeah,
have they want to try to build anticipation, but like I said, when Scheffler was it 2 years ago, he had such a lead with that
yeah.
staggered start. Did he have like a 9 shot lead or something? Like
Well, he started on -10, and then I think the next guy's on -8, and then after like round one, he's built that lead out to like 6 shots already, and then
yeah,
he's
and it was
just
like if you are trying to build TV audiences to this big crescendo, apart from when Tiger won, was it 2018? 2019 maybe? He won at
yeah,
East Lake first, didn't he? Then he won the Masters the year after, so 2018. Um, the problem is with golf, and if I'm looking at this kind of like from a market's perspective, are there that many people that you're going to tune in to watch? Like Wyndham Clark is kind of building a bit of a following. Like I think the fact because he got such a hard time at the US Open again this year. I think that was the moment where, upon reflection, it was like, okay, this is a bit much now. He got a much better. I know he's playing with Gary Woodland. Gary Woodland was getting all the cheers because obviously he's like the nicest guy in golf, and he's gone through a lot. He's come back. But Saturday the crowds were cheering for him. But looking through um, the top of the market, Scheffler, McIlroy, obviously, Tommy Fleetwood. Are you tuning in to watch Patrick Cantlay? Like, fucking hope not. Cam Young needs to win a major. Chris Gotterup, most Americans couldn't beat him out of a lineup. Maybe he's belly. Morikawa, Aberg, Burns. Like, there is nobody who's a draw as of yet in terms of I'm going to tune in and watch this guy, bar the obvious.
Yeah, if it came, in 2028, and the final is in the match play is, unless it's Scheffler versus Rory, I'm not,
Mm.
you're not cancelling any plans to watch it. So, do you want to go out on Sunday? I was like, oh no, I'm gonna stay and watch the golf because it's Cantley versus Xander in the final.
I'm watching NFL friendlies here.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just, we've said it a number of times, and it's just, yeah, there's
Uh,
no tiger. There'll never be another tiger, though. That's just life. He's going.
Shit, the one who's beating fucking handicappers every week. The World of One Scotty Scheffler is the market leader this week. Mr. Hep, would you be I thought he was really poor last week. Fair enough, he was 2 weeks ago, he made it look so much easier when the putter was responding.
He did have blisters all over his hands and
Hand,
mouth.
hand, foot, and mouth, yeah, which is bizarre how how he was even allowed to play. Like, Alex got hand, foot, and mouth from nursery like 6 months ago, and it's
Mm.
so contagious. Like he was banned for like a week. Um, Different when you're the world number one. But yeah, Scheffler, 130 favorite. I can see why he's the favorite, but I'm guessing you wouldn't be entertaining that price.
Not at 10-3. Obviously, he's only won twice this year. A load of seconds as we've gone on about. I mean, I can honestly see anybody sort of winning this. Like, and I think it's like the top 20 guys are like under 25s or 25s and under, and then there's a massive jump up to 45s. It just goes 25s to 45s. There's no 30s, and it's just, yeah, it's like 20 guys, then 10 guys of 45 or above. And honestly, any of the top 20 guys in the field that won this, I wouldn't be shocked. Like Scotty could do it. Rory obviously played well last week. Xander's played quite well, but not really sniffed any wins this year. Wyndham's won 3 times. Collins played well. Cantley's been playing well. Burns has been playing well. Ludwig would be a surprise. Fitz, Young, Fleetwood, got her up in it. Like it's so open. Like I would just, yeah, I wouldn't be taking Scotty at freeze or 10-3. Just pick someone else in the sort of early 20s. I mean, they've got just as good a chance.
You mentioned there, like Rory. Did Rory play well last week?
Well, he
Um,
was second when he was like the one. He was closest to Wyndham for a long time.
I thought
He,
he played. He was
so he's
poor off the
fine.
tee.
Yeah.
He was trying to drive a lot of the short par fours, but his positional play, of course, he made did he made like four birdies in about 6 holes in round from I think eighth was the par five, and then there's another par five around was it 11, 12, and there's a short par four there. He holed like three putts in a space like 4 or 5 holes when Wyndham was struggling. Like up until Wyndham Clark birdied 16, 17, 18, didn't he, coming in? Apart from that, he didn't make a birdie the entire round. 16 was
Yeah.
the par four. He drained that putt from like 15 feet. Um, I think he benefited, but how he didn't kick on from there after he's what I think 5 shots behind entering the final round. I don't think McIlroy played spectacular. I think Wyndham Clark played really shit. He didn't really play, but he's poor off the tee and he was poor he didn't hold a putt over I think 5 feet. I think I sent you the stats in the first 12 holes. Um, I think McIlroy's had a really poor season. Like, if you think of him after winning the Masters, going back to back at Augusta, and he was asked
Yeah.
himself, right, are you player of the year? He was absolutely not. I've played shocking this year.
Well, he said before the first leg of the playoffs that the game was nowhere near where he needed to be, and he played poorly. Then he came second off where I don't know wherever he ended up last week, but yeah, like second or third. So he's not always back, but yeah, he didn't. I mean, again, I didn't watch like a lot of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but it was a peak Rory. But
I
yeah,
can't think of
he's had a bad year. Like if he didn't win the Masters, you'd hardly say he'd had a terrible year. But it's yeah, he's done nothing since.
I can't think of a tournament where he was kind of up there in contention and having like a big duel. Like Scotty's been in there 10 tournaments, should say, this year. Like how he's only
Yeah,
won twice is ridiculous.
yeah, he'll
Um,
flip me. He'll win 4 or 5. I mean, the Rory I always remember challenged Bridgman at Genesis, and that was another one where Bridgman had the seven
Seven
shot
shot
lead,
lead. Yeah.
and Rory then threw it away, and Rory ended up coming second to that. But it wasn't like a tussle down the straight. Bridgman
No.
always had a shot lead, and he just leaked it and leaked it and leaked it back until he, luckily ran out of holes. So,
And even like going back to last year, like Rory had a what 5 shot lead at the Masters last year. Ended up in a playoff. JJ Spawn was really unlucky not to win the players against him last year. Um, Going back to the Masters this year, Scotty's putt was it 17? Just trickled on by. That was to get, I think, was it to get with like one behind and Rory was paddling then. And then gone what? Rory was 12 under after the first 2 rounds, wasn't he?
yeah, and then went
I,
even.
I don't know. It's bizarre. Like Rory was me. We were talking off air. Like Xander Schauffele's Marv stats. Um, God knows where he is. The Magic one's probably in bed right now, scrolling fucking meme coins. Um, Xander and Tommy the ones from stats perspective, but then I'm looking through like, oh my God, Xander Schauffele's third favorite 9-1. How? Xander's had a really poor
Yeah, for
2 years
Rory,
after.
apart from the win for Rory in the second that we mentioned earlier this season and the third last week, his best result is T7, which he did twice, one at the PGA and one at the Scotch. So, he's literally had 3 top 5s in
That's incredible.
15, 20, 18 events. And all
And if you compare that to, say, a Wyndham Clark, who I thought showed a fair bit of bottle
that events. Yeah.
um, t to birdie those final 3 holes, he won the US Open. Wyndham Clark 16-1. He's double the price of Rory this week, having fended him off um, in pretty fine. Certainly, again, Clark as well. He missed putts from I think 7-8 feet. The final 2 holes coming in on Saturday. He could have been even further clear. Um, so yeah, I couldn't have Patrick Cantlay. I don't care what price he is. I couldn't bring myself to back Cantlay. The interesting one, and
He's
there's kind
playing,
of like
he's playing well.
the green springs of hope, whatever they call it. I thought Morikawa was very interesting. He played very well last week. I know he started the season well. He won at Bay Hill, and then Hep. Like if he just plays the players, how much prize money, how much would we have crept with that one and done leaderboard?
Yeah, I mean, probably
Um,
not a significant payout
you
differences.
were adamant he would have won if he was fit and healthy. He'd have won the
Yeah,
players, guaranteed.
yeah, obviously.
But yeah. Anyway, you said we can't have the first like 6, 7 in the market. In that case, who are we backing this week, Apple?
Well, just looking down, I mean, I know he's not playing particularly well since he had his purple patch around Doral, but Cam Young's 20s. He's what, the 10th lowest odds, maybe ninth. And, he's behind Oberg, he's behind Burns, the bottler, he's behind Cantley, he's behind Collie. Like, he's probably the third best player in the world. Um, and yeah, just he's there at 20s. Like he's you get the ninth best price on what I think is the world's third best player. So um, he's like probably not suiting him. But looking at past winners of East Lake, like you've got plenty of DC, Scotty, Hovland, McElroy, Cantley, DJ in 2020, McElroy again.
Spieth,
Like it's
Stenson. I don't think it's
yeah,
necessarily one where you need to be a bomber. It's more of a it's a shot maker's course. So I'm thinking like a
Maybe
Fitzy
those
or a
guys just
Tommy.
win because it's the 30 best players in the world, and so the winner's going to look like a big name. But yeah, it's
But
I don't think it's the pros.
you don't get many shocks. You're not like no disrespect to like a Batia who's really long. I know Batia had a good week last week. Or how was Adam Scott there again? Like Adam Scott is not going to win the Tour Championship. You know what I mean? Like if you look at again, I was showing you the stats last week. Russell Henley at one point was, I think he was the longest. He was the shortest off the tee of the 50. I think he was ranked 48 out of 50 for putting, and yet he was ranked second strokes gained. Was it stroke gained tee to green?
Yeah,
I think Henley's got a great chance this week. Uh, He's putted have completely deserted him over the weekend. He still finished. Did he finish T10, T12 in the end? I think he finished like 7, 8 under. Um, Henley around the he's
20.
25 to 1. I think
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. If you look at again to use your argument, the world rankings, okay, Scheffler and McIlroy, and then you've got Cam Young, okay, Fitzy. Fitz is probably the forgotten man. He's fourth best player in the world. Wyndham Clark won last week. This is like I remember a few people have gone back to back, right? The Billy Horschel rule, which came into effect before the Ryder Cup a few years ago. Then you've got Russell Henley six, Fleetwood, Goddard, Burns, Morikawa. Couldn't back Burns given his record um, in the heat of the battle. Gottrup's done his winning now. It's a long season. He's a big lad. He'll be waiting a break now. But those four in the middle, or those five in the middle, if you were to Dutch Cam Young, Matt Fitzpatrick, Wyndham Clark, Russell Henley, and Tommy Fleetwood, you probably get. I wonder what price you get. Maybe 9 to 4 for the five of them against the field. I'd be very surprised if the winner didn't come from those five players.
they've all got shouts. Oh, like obviously, it just feels like I think going to other ones of these, you just think, oh yeah, someone at the Scotty was played so well, or Xander, and it's just like, oh yeah, they're going to win. Obviously, didn't you last year? Tommy actually won a tournament, um,
He did
but
on American soil. So, Kev, you got 10
feels
points. Where are they going?
so. I'm going back to so I'm going Young. I'm going four each way on Cameron Young at 20s.
Each
And just
way in a
playing.
third. No, come on, yeah. You're
You
just
should
trying to
do it.
protect it because
You're
you're
the one
400
that's
points
fucking
clear.
oh,
Protect that
fair
lead,
enough.
yeah.
But Phil, you're the one that does the. You had 3 weeks ago. You had three each way of fits at 14s, eight places. Like
Did it cash? Did he lose?
no, no, that was at the Open. Didn't even make the cut.
Fucking hell, yeah. Fitzy was bad. Four over when after the
Well,
first round. Bashed.
so all right, you bullied me into it. I'll go seven on Young at 20s, and the other three is going to go. No, the other three is going to go for a bit of place money, so he's going to go each way. He's going to go Alex Smalley at 66s. He's
Okay.
the fourth or fifth least favourite in the field. Been playing well, those are at the top of a lot of leaderboards. Obviously, I don't really expect him to win it, but he's had some T7s, some T16s, 24s at the moment. Had a really good season with a couple of seconds and a third. Um, yeah, I just keep seeing his name in like the top five of leaderboards recently, and he seems to have fallen away a bit on the Sundays. But hopefully he can, yeah, nick a top five at 66s.
Interesting one. I was reading a bit of an interview with Bob McIntyre in the week. I didn't realize he had his first kid in at the start of the year. And he's been trying to juggle back and forth his wife and baby still in Scotland. And I think he commented anyway about maybe like May, June, how he's struggling to do all the
Yeah,
traveling. He's not playing at like things he doesn't really have to. He played really well last week. If you remember, he pulled out with did he have a
yeah,
wrist injury or back injury like
some withdrawal.
early
Yeah,
into the week before? And he went, yeah, it's flared up. I was told just pull out, rest. He shoot like 82 or something in the first round.
yeah, it's not bad.
Um,
One of those
and he went,
withdrawals.
yeah,
Are you really injured, or are you just,
no,
you're not going to, you just
but
done.
Bob's he's quite kind of straightforward. He went like, honestly, I thought the practice I had beforehand, I could not be in better form. And then I go out and shoot 82. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? And it was like, he was pulling or something. And they went, look, just, look, you're not right. Just rest up, play next week. He got in on the bubble last week, and I think he will be so excited about playing this and then being able to ultimately fuck off home after a few weeks, right? I think he said about playing Wentworth. I think he might have said I might play the Irish Open, but I think his dad's been ill as well, so he has not wanted to go be here playing.
I mean, is that a good
Um,
reason to back him if he's just thinking about fucking off home after getting
you, but you,
slumped through these last 4 days and getting it over and done with?
maybe, but I think he could be quite happy just to play and get it over with. So I'm going to stick 2.5 points each way on Bob at 45's four places. And I'm going to stick 7.5 points win on Russell Henley at 25's. No messing. Better course for him, tee to green. As long as the putter fires, should be all right, Russell Henley. But again, I'll be against Scotty, be against Rory. Those right in the middle, Tommy Fleetwood, Matt Fitzpatrick, Cam Young. Um, I think got good chances, but we shall see. Heppo, summarize your picks again because we've gone. My battery's on 2%.
Yeah. Cameron Young at 20s, 7 points, and Alex Smalley 1.5 each way at 66s.
Big Bob's bastard McIntyre beans to fight the fact for Scotland in Atlanta, and hopefully Russell Henley brings home the bacon. I've been Twig, he's been Hep, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.